Hey, everybody. Oh, Herman's down here. Herman just made it down here. Okay, well, shoot. Let's talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight. How to reignite your sales team. How to reignite your team. Do you have people on your team that have fizzled out for whatever reason? You don't know why, you're frustrated, you want to reignite them. That's what we're talking about tonight, okay? First of all, if you have never been to this channel before, if you have never seen one of my videos before, you're going to want to click subscribe. You're also going to want to hit the bell to get notifications whenever I go live. It's kind of any time during the day, whenever we have time to do it, but it is every doggone day, okay? So you are going to get fresh, relevant stuff every single day that's going to help you build your business, but also keep your head straight, right? Keep your mind right while you're building your business, because that's important. That's important, you guys. So yeah, ask questions. Go ahead, like, comment, do all the things that you want to do, but go ahead and ask questions. I'll be able to answer them at the end. So again, what are we talking about? How to reignite your sales team. So everybody has had this situation. Tell me if you have had this situation. Your team starts and they're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. This is going to be awesome. Right? This is going to be great. And then they start off and they're great. And that first month, they're killing it. They're really doing a good job. They're like, their hearts and souls are in it. They're messaging you all the time. They're like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you're just like, yes, you're doing great. And then the second month hits and it's the same thing, but it starts to kind of wean off a little bit. It starts to peter out just a little bit, just ever so slightly. And then the third month hits and then it starts really slowing down, right? Really slowing down. And then you're like, what do I do? And then you get panicky and you get frantic because you're like, what do I do to keep these people on board? Like, they're doing really, really good. What do I do to keep them on board? Like, this is what have I done wrong? Right. And how do I bring them back to the game? There's not even, like, you just feel like you don't even have anything to grab onto. It's just like there was this person and they were great and they were loving it and the products that they're using are working for them and all of the stuff, right? And then all of a sudden they just start petering out. You guys, there are reasons for that. There are two statistical reasons for that. Okay. James, you just described the last 6 months, except it was me. Well, James, you're probably going to align with one of these two things then. So yeah, feel free to ask questions as you have them. So yes, one of the two things that happens to people whenever basically people that have quit different sales forces were all asked these questions. It was a big survey. It was a poll. They were all asked these questions and these two answers came out of it. Okay. The very first one is that they found out one way or another, they found out that what they were selling didn't actually work. Okay. So us with Young Living, we know that that's not the case. Like, that we know that can't be it for our teams, but this is for like all teams all across the world. So like, say they worked at a software place or whatever. Well, 60 days into it, they realized that what they were selling somebody didn't actually work that well. And so they lost their heart for selling it, because you guys, a good salesperson has to believe in what they're selling. And if they don't believe in it anymore, they're not going to be able to sell it. It's not true to their heart. It will ooze out of their pores. Even if they try to sell it, people will understand energetically that they don't agree with it. That's a thing. You can't deny what the signals your body puts off, right? You can't deny the inflection of your voice. You can't deny those things if you don't truly believe in the products. So thank goodness for all of my Young Living people that are watching right now, that our stuff is like, we're good. We're good. So that is one reason that people stop after 90 days. Now, let's talk about the second reason. The second reason is they are not ethically aligned with doing what they were asked to do. What does this mean? What does that mean, right? Not ethically aligned with doing what they were asked to do. And it could be ethically, but it's typically ethically, but it's they don't feel like they can do it, or they're not able to do it. So to me, what that reflects And what I hear a lot about, at least in Young Living specifically, what I think that is, you guys, is classes. Whenever I was going over this data, I was like, the one thing that builders, like when they're ready to go and yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, all of a sudden they aren't aligned with losing their entire life, right? Like having to spend so much time. If you're doing 12 classes a month, or if you're doing, some people do like 20 classes a month, that's a lot of time spent doing that stuff, you guys. That's not necessary. And people, not everybody believes they can do that, right? So within the first 90 days, there's also something that happens where you basically have scooped up, I guess, all of your low hanging fruit, so that 2 to 3% of the people around you that are going to do it, you've scooped those up, and now you have to move into a different kind of market. So you have to be able to find and utilize and sort of immerse yourself in and make yourself like sort of create this flag, this bat signal is what I call it. So people start coming to you. So from that market, right? From the outside market, so they can start coming to you, because the people that you know, you've already gone through those people, and those people don't regenerate, right? Now, can you add people to your funnel? Absolutely, 100% yes. That's what I teach. That's exactly, I mean, it's one of the cornerstones of what I teach, is being able to add people so your list never ends. So you never get that like anxious, stressed out feeling of like, oh, I don't have anybody else on here. These people have to do it, or else I don't know what I'm going to do. These people have to buy, or I don't know what I'm going to do. Listen, we should never, ever in life be in that place. Okay? There's a lot of people in the world. I don't even know the number, but there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people in the world, right? Our list is like all those people, okay? Like our list should never be tiny. We should be showing our bat signal. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're in Young Living, you need Go for Gold. Let me put the little thing in here. I'm going to put the little link in here real quick. Martha.com/go for gold. Use the code GROW40 to get 40 off. There you go. There it is. So that is what we need to be doing, you guys. We need to be putting our bat signal out there. So people that quit within 90 days, they've been asked to do something they don't feel like they can do. So if they were going really strong for like 30 and then 60 days, that means that was the low-hanging fruit time. And then when they have to start doing classes and these other things, that like the classes, you guys, trip folks up, okay? It really trips folks up. They worked at a time, and I believe, please don't misunderstand me. There are some people that are excellent at doing classes, and that is their thing, and that is totally cool, right? A lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't, but are measuring themselves and measuring their success against the people that are. And that's not fair. It's not fair to the people that aren't good at it. The people that aren't good at it should just have another option. They should just have another way to be able to build that is in alignment with something they can do. It's not fair to make them think that they need to do classes. If you're going to make somebody think they need to do classes or something that they just feel like they cannot do in order to be successful, they will peter out and they will go away. Because they would rather, listen, they would rather forego the opportunity than put themselves in that situation. That's important, you guys. It's important. We have to, and we can, make it very, very, very easy for people to be able to catch the vision, see what they can really do, and then be able to show them, especially in Go for Gold, step by step by step by step. And then you just put together your system, and then you work your system, and then you set up campaigns. Like I'm doing a campaign right now called 20 and 30. That's where you sign up 20 people in 30 days. So you have these campaigns, these like short-lived campaigns that bring people in, and then they go through the system, and it's all good, and it's never salesy, and it's never weird, and it's never funky, and it's always just something that somebody can do. You guys, teaching classes is not duplicatable. I don't care how many people said it was duplicatable. I find myself to be a pretty competent person. I tried to teach one class and it did not work at all. But I have signed up over 150 people in the last year, personally enrolled over 150 people in the last year, and it was all online, and not one of them was with a class. Okay? So it's doable. It's doable. So really, at the end of the day, let's go back to it super quick. At the end of the day, if you have somebody that quit after 90 days, which a lot of people do, it's either because A, they don't believe that the product worked for them. So what's another thing that we need to do? We need to be checking in with people and making sure that they're getting the results they were hoping to get. Okay? When people sign up, and especially with Go for Gold, like I said, I have something called the conversation cheat sheet. Sort of, it loosely walks you through a consultative sales conversation as it should go to find out what they need, yada, yada. And so you're going to find out what your people actually need. What are they looking for, right? So you know what they want. You can't be too afraid to ask people if it's working, okay? That's a question that a lot of people are too afraid to ask because they are afraid the answer is no, okay? First of all, there's something that is going to work, okay? There's something that is going to work. But let's please honor the fact that every single one of our bodies is different. Let's do that. Let's please honor the fact that all of us need different things and different combinations of things. Let's please honor that. Let's not act like, well, everybody that has this problem probably needs this. Everybody that has this problem probably needs this. It's likely, it's very likely, but if you set up the expectations in the beginning, listen, we're going to start with this because I believe that this is going to work. This is what works for most people in supporting their bodies in X, Y, and Z, right? This is what works for most people. However, if it doesn't, for whatever reason, because all of our bodies are different, if it doesn't, then what we're going to do is we're going to try X, Y, and Z instead. Okay? You guys, the only reason on earth that you should ever be afraid to ask somebody if what they're using is working is if you did not set up the expectation that you were going to have a plan B, and that if you did not set up that expectation, then they are putting all of their ducks, all of their eggs are in the basket of this one product working. And with our different bodies, we can't do, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. We have something that will. But if they have put all their eggs in that basket and then they think that this is supposed to work, whenever it doesn't, if it doesn't for whatever reason, then they believe nothing works. Do you hear that? Then their belief is that none of it works because we didn't set expectations, because we didn't say, listen, it's very likely this is going to work for you. However, we all have different bodies. So if it doesn't, we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. Then you would be able to ask back and be like, hey, so I know you were trying this. How's that working out for you? And you can ask it with confidence instead of like, oh, I hope it's working. I hope it's working. I hope it's working. Right? That's all that it takes. It's just clear communication. It's just open and honest figure, right? Open and honest communication. And it makes everybody so much more comfortable in the process, you guys. Nobody feels stress or anxiety in the process. So if they were taking something and they did not have their expectations set ahead of time, then if it didn't work for them for whatever reason and they were starting to build, all of a sudden, what happens? They're like, I don't know if I can sell this. And that's our fault. That's our fault. That's our fault for not setting expectations, you guys. These are important concepts. I really hope that you're not watching this video and then just like letting it go. You guys, this is important stuff for the longevity of your business. If you set expectations correctly with a new customer, and then they become a builder, or they're a builder that also is taking, using products as well. If you set expectations well, it is so likely you will have a customer for life, because what we have does work. We just have to find the right stuff for people, because everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? What works really well for one person may not work for somebody else, but that might be because they've got something else going on. We don't know. We're not doctors. We don't know. We do the best we can to support bodies. That's what we do. Our bodies heal themselves, right? We support our bodies in them being able to do what they do best. Sometimes it takes one thing. Sometimes it takes another thing. Who knows? We're not a doctor. We're going to try these different things. We didn't go to law school, but you know what? When you go to the doctor, they also try a few different things. So, there's that, right? Okay. What questions do you have? I have gone through all the things. Let's see. James, if I had kept doing classes because my brain injury, it definitely would have killed me. Not an exaggeration. Wow. Seriously. It's just the word that comes to mind is unfair. And I'm not saying that people are doing it maliciously. I don't believe there's one single person out there on the planet that's being malicious in saying, teach classes, teach classes, teach classes. I'm not, please, like, I'm not at all saying that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that anybody's malicious in it. I believe that there is, that they just haven't thought about another option, that they just don't think about other things, right? And that's what I had to do, because I couldn't teach. Like, I just couldn't do it, right? Like, I can talk like this, but you get me in a room full of people and man, I am just like non sequitur, right? Like, I don't know. I get in 4 conversations at once. It's crazy. Like, I just can't do it, right? I can't do it. So that's what I believe is unfair for people. And when they were told that you had to do that, how many people did we lose to the concept of having to teach classes in order to be successful or in order to have this career at all? How many people did we lose? Which then leads me to, how many people can we get back? That's the exciting part. How many people can we get back that really love the product, that really loved what they were doing, that really, loved being able to help people out, right? But they just couldn't do it in that capacity. So my challenge to anybody watching this that does have a downline is reach into your downline. Start talking to them about, being able to do this in other ways, because it's very, very likely, if you were preaching classes to them, that there are a lot of people in your downline that want this, that want to be able to do this, but did not see, they were not modeled the way to be able to do it, right? James, hell, I haven't gotten any leads yet, but it's early. So if I can actually do the things, anybody can do them. I love it. I love it, James. That's awesome. Amy, what if a builder has quit but keeps sending you leads? What if a builder has quit but keeps sending you leads? That's interesting. So, if a builder has quit but keeps sending you leads, that's an interesting thing. So that is going to be like, different people are different. So you have to find out why they quit, right? Or why they quit. That's the very first conversation you need to have with them, because if they're sending you leads, they still believe in the company and they still believe in the products and they still believe in the opportunity. They themselves have stepped out for some reason, right? So that's like a one-on-one conversation that you should have with them, just to see like, okay, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate that you're sending me leads. I appreciate that you're facilitating positive change in these other people's lives that you're sending them to me. Like, I appreciate that, right? But also, how can we help you as well? Or do you want to be helped? Or where are we in this position, right? Like, where are you wanting to continue in any capacity at all? Because there's all sorts of different levels of engagement for builders or for sharers, as it would be in this case, I would believe. Your builders are your people, like your builders / leaders. Those are your people that are like, they've got the vision. They are doing the thing. They are putting themselves out there. They are showing leadership to their own teams. Like, that's a builder, right? A sharer is somebody that loves the product, that wants other people to be able to, and a builder is also this, okay? But a sharer just isn't a builder. So a builder is typically a sharer isn't a builder, if that makes sense. A sharer loves the products and wants other people's lives to be better because of that as well. So what I would do, honestly, somebody that has sent a lead to me that was a builder that has quit, what I would do is I would process that lead, right? So I would sign up that lead, and then I would put that lead underneath that builder. I would still be building. I would still credit them with that lead. And then maybe, here's the thing, is everybody has seasons of life. I have a friend who is, I believe she's a diamond now. But she started the business, got to gold, maybe silver or gold. And then she stopped for like 2 years out of the blue, just stopped. And then she just kept getting paychecks for the whole time because she had a team and whatever, but she was not, she was not engaging in the team. She was not doing anything. Like, it was just, she stopped what she was doing. And her team was still there because they loved the product, residual income, right? Because they loved the products, and she just kept cashing checks. And eventually, after 2 years, she ended up coming back, because she's like, man, I've been gone for 2 years and I am still cashing these checks. This is crazy. I'm going to come back and actually support these people, and I'm going to start doing this thing again. So you never really know what season of life people are going into or coming out of, or where they're at. The best thing is communication, to me, is to reach out to them and say, hey, listen, okay, so I get that you don't want to do this right now, and that's totally cool. You sent me this lead, and I'm going to put them under you because you're still, like, if they're still ordering, right, then they would still be able to cash the checks. And then just keep reaching back out to them, like every 3 months or so. Hey, how are things? Hey, how are things? Hey, how are things? They may come back to the table and start building again, but it's going to be based on how you treated them. Ooh, this is good. It's going to be based on how you treated them in their absence. It's going to be based on how you treated them like a human being in their pulling back from the business. Because if you're going to treat them like a commodity, right? If you're going to treat them like something that you just buy and sell, if you're going to treat them like a commodity in the business, then why would they come back? Even if they're cashing checks, that doesn't feel good. But if you've been treating them like family and like a human being, like they are the whole time, and showing them love the entire time, checking in on them, their family, their kids, all of that stuff the entire time, it's likely they'll probably come back whenever things change for them and whenever that season changes for them. That was a really good question. But yeah, okay. Well, does anybody else have any questions? Again, we're going to recap 2 things that keep people from that make people quit after about 90 days. If your sales team quits after 90 days, is that they don't believe in the product. Again, let's harken back to setting expectations. That's the only reason anybody wouldn't believe in our products, okay, is if you didn't set good expectations. Seriously, okay? And then second is that they're not aligned. They're not in alignment with whatever they have been asked to do, okay? So maybe they, were doing things great. They got their low-hanging fruit. Then they started having to do something to bring in other people. They're told that thing is classes or something they're not in alignment with. They're going to stop doing it. Okay. So those are the two things. So whenever you see that behavior start, make sure that you reach out to them and that you nip it in the bud, not just for you as their, or upline or whatever, not just for you, but for them, because this opportunity is for them. We coach them through freedom for themselves. Their winning equals our winning. That's why I love this business more than anything else. Everybody's like, is it a pyramid? Da, da, da. Listen, if my people win, I win. I don't want a business any other way. I simply don't. If my people win, if they are good, then I'm good. And that's all that matters to me, is that they're good. And then I'm good. Let's see, James, tons, but none of them are relevant to discussion. You're hilarious. Awesome. Well, hey, you guys, you have an awesome night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.